Thank you for joining us, everybody. We've got Casey O'Toole from Santa Barbara. What's up, man?
You.
I visited him last week on Saturday. We chilled for a little bit, took a look at his setup there that he's got. It's a good place, man. It's a good place. We're looking at seeing if maybe that's the place for our mastermind of like 20 to 30 people, not too many. And it's looking good, Casey. So thanks for having me over, man. And you also run My Link Solution. Can you tell me about that? And then we'll get into LinkedIn. Get into LinkedIn.
Yeah, sure. So My Link Solution, we are a kind of like a LinkedIn marketing company. So, there's a bunch of Facebook advertisers out there. We do LinkedIn marketing. We're effectively a LinkedIn automation service. We can help you find prospects via LinkedIn. We then use our software to put them into automated connection requests and automated follow-up messages so that we start the conversations for you. And all you have to do is convert them to a lead or convert them to a sale and then make the deal. So we are just a digital marketing company, and heck, we use it for our own real estate practice and have crushed it with it. And so now we can sell it to other real estate professionals, and they're all loving it. So yeah, thank you.
I love that, man. Well, thanks for being on. Let's talk about LinkedIn.
Sweet.
All right. So I was doing a little bit of research on LinkedIn on where we're at as it's just people that market on LinkedIn, thanks to you. And I didn't realize that they had a blog, man. So I want to show you. I know you knew, but I didn't. Remember, I'm not Mr. LinkedIn. Okay. That's you. Let me go over here. Can you see my screen over on the marketing blog section?
I can. Yep.
All right, perfect. So apparently they have it, business.linkedin.com, and then you'll find the marketing solutions there. But I was reading one specific one that popped up, and that's this one that helps startups. That one I read, which is really good. And this one, the study on how higher education marketing campaigns can reach the right audience. I'm like, oh, okay, dude, this is some good information that pertains to how to use it LinkedIn at a higher level. So I don't know if you ever jump into this and take a look.
Yeah, no. In fact, I was on. So LinkedIn put on like a LinkedIn selling seminar about a couple of weeks ago that I joined and just kind of checked things out. And it's bizarre and it's kind of uncanny how powerful LinkedIn is as a selling platform, and yet how underutilized it is by sales professionals. I mean, you can find, really targeted prospects on LinkedIn, and you have your resume or your value or whatever you wanted to sell effectively, front and center, and you can just put it out there. And people don't know how to do it very well. They don't know how to automate it. They don't know how to like do things in a way where it gets them business. But it is such a powerful platform for sales that it's just mind blowing.
Yeah, man. And I think the most important piece to this, now that you see Google and Apple saying, hey, look, we're gonna start cutting back on this tracking, right? And following, and we're gonna have a lot more transparency. And Facebook's like, what? That sucks for us, because that's where we make all our money. You're seeing Facebook pivot and now starting to create an all-in-one place. So they're making now their own websites, their own landing pages, right? It's almost like they're creating their own browser, right? Which I wouldn't doubt they're going to do anytime soon, right? So when I look at that and I look at where LinkedIn is, the power of what LinkedIn does is that there's two things, and this is where you can tell me if I'm wrong. But number one is that it's a business community, right? So we're talking to professionals so they understand where we're coming from, number one. And number two, once you throw in LinkedIn's power, which is under the sales navigator, right? That's a LinkedIn's pay to play type of thing. It's like $75 a month. You can go deep into reverse prospecting. and identify, let's say you want to target doctors, you want to target police officers, you want to target teachers, you want to target anybody in any profession, you can do that. And I
Yeah.
think that's where people miss an opportunity because they don't even know that that's possible, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's the way I like to kind of put it is it's like digital door knocking. But when you do door knocking in general, you don't really know who's going to be answering the door when you knock on the door. Whereas with LinkedIn, you get to know the person, you get to know who you're reaching out to before you knock on the door. So it's like you get to know them before you know them, and then also likewise, they get to know you before you get to know them. So they get to review your profile, see who you are, all of your experience before they decide to then respond to you or not. Which is why it's so important to put your best foot forward, to have your resume more or less on LinkedIn, dialed in with a ton of experience, a ton of situations where they could relate to you with, and just have it totally comprehensive, so that when you knock on that door, they kind of look at who you are and they're going to want to then talk to you. So it's a business community, and it's the number one way to generate business from high net worth individuals of all platforms, hands down.
Well, I mean, the last time I was on I don't even remember what meeting I was in, but I texted you randomly, like I always do, like, Casey. I'm like, Casey, this one was like, Casey, I got an idea. Can we reverse prospect the billionaires, right? In Malibu? And you're like, yeah, we can. I'm like, okay, help me. I want to do that. So I just put up the link to my link solution. I want to share something with the audience here on just social media platforms in general. And then you tell me what you think of this, Casey. And I'm kind of surprising you on this. So
Sure.
pardon the surprise. Here, these social media platforms are all based on what companies call MAUs, and that's monthly active users. That's what social media companies monitor the most, and that's kind of like where their value comes from, besides all the money spent on marketing. But it all starts with monthly active users, okay? So here you go, Facebook, obviously they're massive. And Casey, there's no YouTube here and there's no Clubhouse, all right? So if you want YouTube, YouTube's about 230 million from my research, and Clubhouse was, I think they were just over 3 million downloads and apps. I don't know monthly active users yet. So, but let's go through this. You got 2.7 billion in Facebook monthly. That's a lot, right? 1.6 Instagram. And TikTok is doing pretty well, man. Look at that.
Jeez.
Right? 442 million in Pinterest. Reddit, for those of you who use Reddit, 430 million. 353 million for Twitter. It's gone up a little bit, right? And this, check this out. LinkedIn's 350 million. But this is the important thing as I scroll down here, right? Check this out. 46,000 is the average income per year of its users. That tells you a lot, because we go to Instagram, we go to TikTok, we go to all these other ones. Some of these people don't even have a job, right?
Yep.
So what are the chances of them coming to you and saying, yeah, I want to use your services to do whatever it is we're going to do, in this case, real estate. And then look at this, 55 job applications every second. Again, business oriented. And lastly, 50% of the people with college degree or higher use it. That's, to me, that tells me a lot, right?
No, it does, and it's and that's what I've been kind of like harking at for so long. It's granted, I think you should be on all those platforms because you want your brand to be effectively everywhere. But with LinkedIn, it's the caliber of the relationship that you're able to create far surpasses any of these other social platforms. It's a professional network rather than a social network.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I mean, like the average salary, the average, like college degree, like this is where your clients live. And because it's a professional network, they're not nearly as off put by kind of like business to business sort of conversations. And so they're a lot more open to, I mean, we're potentially going to be getting a deal like next week on a listing in Santa Barbara, and the guy found me on LinkedIn. He then sees that I have 17,000 connections on LinkedIn, most of which live in Santa Barbara, and so he must know that I'm like a pretty, well connected, and I can leverage that platform to maybe sell his house. There's just so many of these positive externalities that LinkedIn has to offer that but here's the thing, you got to get started now. It took me years, about 2 years, to develop my connection network to 17,000 people. But now that I have it, that is, it's paying off in spades down the line. So it's, now I'm known as like this influencer on LinkedIn. It's helping me sell listings. It's helping me get listings. There's so many positive things to it that it's important to get started ASAP.
All right, so let's talk a little bit about that, because you've grown mine as well. What's the best way to be growing your LinkedIn account so that you get more people on it?
So you just want to engage, right? So there's, so the first things first is to create a really enhanced LinkedIn profile. Next is to then start engaging with people's posts to kind of let them know that you're around and you're engaging with them, and then they'll maybe engage back with you. But then once you have done those two boxes, you check those off, then you want to kind of start implementing automation tools, which is what we kind of offer, to then scale it to the next level, right? Because if you're knocking on a bunch of doors and you're not wearing your nicest suit, they're gonna think of you and they're not gonna open the door. But if you look good and you have a great value proposition, and you're really kind of honing things in really well and customized, then it does go a long ways. So from that point, you want to then automate your systems, automate your communication, so that they open the door, they engage in a conversation with you, and then you can go, 5x, 10x, 20x ROI on your efforts.
Okay, how would you use LinkedIn if I'm looking at going on a presentation, right? Because right now it's all about listings, getting listings, right? So how would we use LinkedIn if I'm sitting there and I'm trying to get the listing? How could you show the client the power of what you can do through LinkedIn? What would be some ideas?
So this is another listing that we have an opportunity with right now, and we use our system that we're able to we're able to use that in our listing presentation. So what we're telling Mr. Seller over here is that, we can put your house. It was like a $5 million listing in Mission Canyon in Santa Barbara. We can find targeted CEOs of Fortune 500 companies that live in Los Angeles, that live in the Bay Area, that own these companies that have over 5,000 employees. We can find those people, and we can put your listing directly in front of them, so that they may not be looking to buy a house in Santa Barbara, that one person. But if you do this enough times, and if you scale it at such a level, then maybe one or two might, and you might find your buyer. So if you can present this in your listing presentation to a potential seller, that you have the ability to promote their house in front of thousands of top level executives, that is such a good kind of way of getting that listing.
All right, show me how to do that, dude. I want to see the back end of LinkedIn. Sure. I know I always just take you left and right on these, but
well, this time I actually came a little prepared, because I know you're going to be having me show.
Welcome to my brain. There you go.
So this is where I live every day too. So LinkedIn is where I'm here every single day. So that's kind of fun for me. So basically, this is what I'm showing you here is LinkedIn Sales Navigator. This is the bread and butter of what you're going to be leveraging, or what we can leverage for you through MyLink solution, right? This is what lets you hone in on the top level executives that you would want to be reaching out to on the behalf of your clients, and or if you wanted to use it to generate business. So, for example, so this is like one search that I did not so long ago, where I was reaching out to people who live in the Santa Barbara area, who have more than 10 years of work experience, who have the seniority level of CEOs, founders, partners, directors, owners of large companies who are not realtors, right?
Yep.
So from there, you can search these folks on LinkedIn Sales Navigator. So that, the CTO of Procore, which is one of the largest tech companies in Santa Barbara, CEO of Milo Sensors, VP, service helper at Citrix. It's like, these are the people that you want to be talking to and you want to be having these relationships with. So from here, so for me, if I'm trying to generate business for my own real estate practice, I would be creating customized scripts. I'd be putting them into our software, and I'd be having conversations being started on a daily basis, and we'd be generating appointments. Now, if you wanted to use this for generating, kind of trying to like using this to sell your system to get a new listing, you would say, look, I can use this system, and instead of finding the top level executives in Santa Barbara, I'm going to be trying to find them all throughout California or Los Angeles. And I'll say, hey, do you want to be buying a new vacation home in Santa Barbara? Here's a great listing that we just listed recently. So now we can be finding the CMO at Emburse. This is where you find like the millionaires and billionaires.
I love that, dude. Can you narrow it down to even a smaller region, or no? How small can we go here?
Yeah, so you can go small as well. And also this is niche because it's people who went to UCSB as their alumni. So you can find people who went to your same university. You can find.
We could also be like people. I mean, let's play a game. Let's change that up. Let's change up UC Santa Barbara and put Stanford University.
Excellent. So we'll go back to here. School, Stanford. So this is people who live in who went to school in Stanford, who live in the LA metropolitan area.
Cool.
Who are experienced individuals who have the titles of CEO, owner, partner, VP, directors, etc. So
like that.
So now these are the folks who went to an Ivy League school, who are successful business people in the LA area.
All right. And then can we narrow, how does it filter it from the top? What does it start with? What's the criteria? Why is Andrew at the top?
I'm guessing he probably has a pretty robust LinkedIn profile, and he fits a lot of these different filter criteria pretty well.
Okay. Can you scroll through the tabs where it says 3K, 65, 8, 398 at the very top?
Yes. So what this kind of lets you kind of narrow it down even more, right? So this allows you to find people. So of the 3,000 total people of this entire search, 65 of them have changed jobs in the past 90 days.
Okay. And so then what if you keep on scrolling to the right? What happens there?
So then it's mentioned in the news in the past 8 days. They posted on LinkedIn in the past 30 days, and 309 people share experiences with me.
Dude, click on 8 mentioned in the news, and I want to see that.
Yep.
So we've got Christopher Hack, we've got Josh, Geigel, Michael. Scroll down a little bit. There's a method to this. Hold on. Emily, William. All right. So let's say, this is cool. Let's say I want to pick these 8. Are there more details that I can get, like emails or other information through this, or no?
So what you can do, so you can't get their emails unless you're a first connection with them first, right? So you can send them a connection request. If they accept that connection request, then you can get their contact information, which is their email, their phone number, their location, etc.
Okay, got it. Perfect.
So what you could do potentially, and so this would be a really great, so this is potentially how you would find your billionaires in Los Angeles. Cool. Or in California. You would find people who live in California, who went to Stanford, who were mentioned in the news in the past 30 days. So likely they're famous of some sort. And you can put these people into an automated connection request campaign and start saying, hey, I saw the article that you were mentioned in, would love to talk to you about that.
Yeah, unless they're being sued or they're losing their company, right? then you could be like, do you want to sell your home? But there's a great question here. It says that, well, how can we use LinkedIn to get seller leads? What are you seeing, Casey? Anything that stands out for you that can help us out?
I would say the best approach, which this has worked for us also, is to filter based on affluency. So, again, like the same thing of titles, years experience, CEOs, founders, partners, directors. So even though we don't know that they are for sure a homeowner, they will at least have enough money likely to be a homeowner. So that they probably are. From there, we put in a home valuation link into a script saying, hey, first name, not sure if you've been following the market, but it's a crazy, seller's market right now. The inventory is low. Not sure if you're a homeowner or not, but if so, we have a really great tool that allows you to instantly get the property value of your home. Here it is, right? So you can include links into these scripts. They then click on that link, fill out that form, and now that's a lead that you get to put into your CRM, and you can follow up and then you convert them.
Well, that's what I'm talking about. I like that, dude. All right.
Yeah.
So then how does your company work into all this? What do you guys help with?
So we've done this for years, right? And so
Yeah.
we know the right scripts, we know how to target the right audience, and we can effectively find your people and customize a script that fits your niche, and we can generate business for you automatically. And so literally all our clients have to do is they log into LinkedIn once a day, and they'll simply respond to those messages and set appointments. And also kind of part of the fun of running this business is actually digging into our clients' businesses and seeing which scripts and which audience would work the best. So, I mean, I'll put a link in the chat here. What I would recommend is if anyone on this wants to schedule like a personalized discovery call to just schedule a demo with us,
Okay.
we'll then dig into what the right solution would be for your business.
Got it. All right, cool. All right. So tell us what else we would look at when we're looking at this, because some people are like, well, how do we work in this market where it's all about getting seller leads, whether you're mailing, calling your past clients, online leads. But I always find, Casey, that when we have opportunities, because we spend thousands and thousands of dollars on online leads, right? And a lot of these are buyers that come in. But what I tell people is the sellers, in most cases, unless it's a job relocation or something along those lines, sellers usually are buyers first. Like, for instance, I'm looking for a house, right? And I need to check out, I'm checking out Malibu, and I'm like, well, is this a good place to live? Like, how close is it to everything that I want to be in, right? So I'm checking it out, and if it makes sense, then I go to my house, and I'm like, well, now let's see what it's worth. So I become a buyer first, and people don't understand that they become buyers first when you're looking online. So some of these opportunities, leads, whatever you want to call them, when we get them first, they're actually sellers. We just have to ask the right questions. Right.
Yeah.
And they're all going to tell you we're just browsing, we're just looking. So how do we approach this to also pick up buyers who can possibly be sellers? What's the approach that you typically give?
So, I mean, you nailed it, right? So I think really, I mean, buyers are sellers, sellers are buyers. And so really what you should be filtering on is affluency. So affluency factors. You can always exclude interns, associates, students. You can exclude people that you don't think are in the market or are qualified to buy or sell a home. So, I mean, if you're looking for buyers, again, the same kind of protocol applies where you would just filter for affluency, and then, except rather than including like a home valuation link, you would say, hey, not sure if you've been watching the market recently, but we've gotten some really great listings that just hit the market. Check it out. And then it's a link to like the top listings in Santa Barbara with a forced lead capture form, right? So like,
Okay.
before you see more than 3 photos, you then have to fill out a form, and there's a lead. So there's a buyer lead.
Okay. Cool. I like that. And just so you know, Yvonne says, thanks for this info. I've been wanting to get stronger on LinkedIn. I'll be contacting you next week. All right, great. Thanks, Yvonne. That's really sweet. And Casey, so what else can we do to automate this? Because one thing I suck at is LinkedIn. I'm just not, dude, I'm not good. I gravitate to Facebook, And now I gravitate a lot to YouTube, right? And I try. Well, maybe I don't try. I'll take that back. I don't try. But it's just like, how do you automate? That's why I hired you. I'm like, can you do this stuff for me? Show us how you automate that because I'm terrible at LinkedIn.
So yeah, that's why we do it for you, right? So that's a thing. So I mean, realtors, business people, we're all busy doing a bunch of other stuff, and so that's why our company, My Link Solution, we are full service, where we help find the right prospects, we create the right scripts, we then start generating business for you. So all you have to do is log in and respond to people, right? So that's step one. Step two is which would be taking it to the next level of automation and one thing people don't quite understand is that every one of your first connections, we can give you access to their contact information. So if you look at my profile here, I have over 17,000 connections on LinkedIn now,
Yeah.
17,680, which means that I have over 17,000 contacts that I can upload and automate email campaigns to from within my CRM. So
Can
what's
you
nice about
show us how that works, please? Just go deeper on that so people understand that.
Sure. So
Just an explanation.
I can explain it and then I'll kind of go through.
Yeah.
So basically the way that I run my campaigns is that I do a connection campaign. I'm finding people who live and work in Santa Barbara. The
Mhm.
moment they connect with me, I put a 7-day delay, and then I do I integrate with Zapier. So our system integrates with Zapier, which is like a third-party software.
Okay.
I then zap every new connection that's made with me on LinkedIn automatically into Follow Up Boss, which is my preferred CRM,
Mhm.
and I tag them as LinkedIn contact. That LinkedIn contact tag notifies Follow Up Boss to start them on an automated email drip.
Mhm.
So now I have an action plan that's assigned to a new connection made with me on LinkedIn. So that's another way of automating it. Also, if you are too busy to be logging in and responding and everything, you can, granted, our most effective clients are on LinkedIn and responding to people on a daily basis. But if you are too busy, you don't really have the time to necessarily do that, you can always include like Calendly links and other kind of things that would require less effort on your end, right? So I say, if you want to schedule a call with me, here's my calendar, find a time. So I include a Calendly link in all of my automation, whether it's LinkedIn or whether it's email marketing. I'm always including links so that their action and my call to action to them is safe and simple. So all they have to do is click on a link to schedule a presentation from me or something like that.
Got it. Well, that's good. I like that, dude. I like that a lot. And we've got a couple of questions here. Hold on. Carl's got, what are the cost expectations for LinkedIn Sales Navigator and your services? Good question, Carl. I kind of always gloss over that because I forget. I'm on it already. So, Casey,
Yeah. What's the question again? I didn't see it.
what's the cost for Sales Navigator, which is by LinkedIn, and your company? What's the monthly on that? What is
So
that?
Sales Navigator is $80 a month.
Cool.
And that's for their month-to-month contract. And they give you a free month. If you haven't used a LinkedIn Premium free trial yet, they'll give you a free month. So $80 a month after your free month. Our services are $270 a month, and that's with a 3-month commitment. And right now we're waiving our setup fee, which is usually $300, and we're giving half off to all of our new clients as well, half off of your first month.
Oh,
So
nice.
if you wanted to just like test out our system and test it out with LinkedIn, the first month out the door would only be $135, right?
Perfect.
And so but then every month subsequent to that would be $350, because then it would be $270 for our system plus $80 a month for Sales Navigator.
Awesome. Now, Casey, what CRM do you use? Which one did you say?
Follow Up Boss.
Awesome. Follow Boss. And then Bill, what's up, Bill? Is this all direct messages, or are video ads posted or posts involved? How does that work?
So we don't do any ads at all. So this is not paid advertising. Um, you can do video messages though, which some of our clients have had a lot of success with that. So what they can do, so long as you can include like a URL link. So if you have like BombBomb or a YouTube video or whatever, you can include a link into your messaging, and then that would be your way of providing your value or your message.
Cool, cool. How quickly would we start getting leads after signing up with you? Oh, that's a good question, Nicole.
So within 24 hours. And so that's kind of the cool part, is because we've done this for so long, we know how to do it really well and really quickly. Onboarding takes about 10 or 15 minutes. We simply ask a few questions to you, like, what's your ideal customer profile? What's your value proposition? What's your primary call to action? Once we have that information, we can find your audience, we can create your scripts, we can start our system. And then from there, within 24 hours, you'll be getting connections coming in, you'll be getting messages coming in, you'll be getting business coming in every day from within LinkedIn.
Okay, cool. And can you explain what that, because she had a good question, but I want to expand on it. What does a lead look like? Because we get that mixed up because we have Zillow, Realtor.com, Google, Facebook, everything. What does this look like? What does an opportunity look like here?
So I'll show you. So I'll show you one of my clients. And so basically, let's find, there she is. So this is what a lead looks like, right? So this is my friend Emily, who we automated a sequence. I said, "Hi, Emily, nice to meet you. I see you're a fellow Santa Barbara resident. Looking forward to networking with you." My follow-up message went out a couple of days later, or actually a few hours later. She responds to it. She had just moved to Santa Barbara for her new job. We then says, "Sounds great. I'll be back in town on the 30th and free to meet up sometime later on that week." So then I scheduled a meeting with her, later on that week. She wasn't quite ready to buy a home at that moment, but then a few months later, her situation changed, and now her and her boyfriend, they were able to qualify up to a $2 million loan or $2 million house. So then we ended up selling her a $2 million house here in Santa Barbara. And it was all generated from within LinkedIn.
I love that, man. That's really good. All right. So Amanda has a more technical question here.
Sure.
On this. So if you want to stay there, when someone selects an appointment through your Calendly link, are you automatically notified? Do you do any follow-up leading up to that appointment? What does that look like?
So yeah, I mean, like that's all kind of within how you want to arrange your Calendly. But yeah, I mean, so the Calendly that we have is it's set with my personal schedule, right? And so if I'm saying, schedule a call with me for a free real estate consultation, then it'll automatically upload into my schedule. I'll then get a notification from Calendly that so-and-so scheduled a call with me, and that's all automated as well.
Got it. I like that. So I think we got everything answered. Oh, Bill, what's up? I had another question I almost missed. Can you search anonymously like on regular LinkedIn or no?
Can you search anonymously?
I'm not sure what that means because that was a question towards the beginning. So Bill, if you can expand on that one, I'd love to answer it, buddy.
So I think maybe I'll kind of talk a little bit. So you can search on regular LinkedIn without getting Sales Navigator, but the hard part is that LinkedIn, they actually throttle your level of activity that's allowed until you get a paid account. So yes, you can search. Also, the filters are not nearly as robust. And so, for example, like I'm originally from Ventura, California. If you were to search for, if you were to use the geography filter on free LinkedIn, they wouldn't let you find Ventura. They bunch Ventura into greater Los Angeles area. And so clearly that wouldn't be a very niche target if I'm trying to find business in Ventura. But with Sales Navigator, you can go as granular as a 1 mile radius around the zip code.
Mm-hmm.
And you can also do it based on regions like Ventura, Carpinteria, and smaller towns.
Dude, when I drove to you, I was like, man, I miss Santa Barbara. I hadn't driven up to Santa Barbara for a while until last week. So that was really nice.
Great.
Jennifer, you rock, Jennifer. Jennifer Hoskins is my friend. She's on here too. Eric has a great question. Do you offer a LinkedIn profile setup for people who have either no, that's me, or very basic LinkedIn presence? That was me, Eric. I suck at LinkedIn. If not, do you have a service you would recommend? So good question.
So we do. So that's all kind of part of onboarding. So if and when you're ready to sign up, we kind of help outline what some of like the key attributes you want to be focused on for your profile. It doesn't take too long to actually just dial in your profile well. There's a few like main things, like making sure you have a banner photo, making sure you have a descriptive title, things of that nature. But yeah, no, we'll for sure kind of comb through your profile, give you best practices, and we even have like a best practice video that you can refer to from time to time if you needed to have some more advice on how to enhance your LinkedIn profile.
Awesome, buddy. All right. So anything that I missed that you want to bring in? Wendy, hold on. Wendy saying, loving this, Tristan and Casey. I've been working on LinkedIn for years and have had great success getting reviews posted. They're smart. Don't post your reviews on Zillow. Just a side comment. Not so much generating leads, although my posts get a lot of views. Yes, this sounds like the next step. Wendy, it is. I mean, the fact that you're using LinkedIn that way this is just going to add to that. One thing that I love that happened to ours, my personal one, is that they've built up the following without me doing anything. I mean, the last time I checked, I thought I was at, Casey, I thought I was like 7,000, but now I'm like 13, I think 13,000. Can you just pop up mine?
Let's see.
I was checking this morning. I was like, what? Am I reading this right?
You are at 12,100.
Yeah, that's almost 13,000. I can't count. So there you go.
Yeah.
12,000.
So that's, think about the importance of that. That means that whenever you post things on LinkedIn, you have the potential of having 12,000 people looking at your posting. That means you also have 12,000 emails that you can be retargeting to via email and newsletters. You can upload them onto Facebook as a custom audience. You can retarget them on Facebook. Like having a large following on LinkedIn, in my opinion, is way more important than having a large following anywhere else.
Well, because of the quality of the people. All right, Bill expanded on his, what's up, Bill? Expanded on his question. On LinkedIn, you can set yourself anonymously to search. Can you?
Set yourself anonymously.
I think I know what he's meaning. So Casey, sometimes when I go into my own profile, it says, hey, you've had this many people look at your profile. And I can see if they're my friends who searched for me. He's saying, can we search for people like that without them knowing who the hell is searching for us?
That's a good question. Honestly, I'm not quite sure. I don't know how LinkedIn operates in that capacity. I've actually wondered the same thing. Like, what makes some people say that they've been anonymous, and some people say like they work in. I think if that person that you're searching has a LinkedIn premium account, then they'll be able to see you as like the person who looked at their profile, right? But I believe if that person does not have a LinkedIn premium account, their ability to see who's searching for them is much more limited. So I think that would make you more anonymous. So if you want to be looking at people's profiles anonymously, I would say just make sure that they don't have this little icon up here, which indicates that they are a LinkedIn premium member. If they don't have that icon, then you could probably safely look at their profile without them knowing.
Got it. And there's some more questions. I hope that answered the question. Bill, if it didn't, just ask it again, buddy. I'll get it. All right, Aaron. What's up, Aaron? You're on here. What's up, Aaron? Aaron Alcides. Is there a limit on the number of leads a month? I have over 4,500 connections. What can I expect in the number of leads a month? That's a good question. I think it varies too on the messaging. It varies on a lot of things, Aaron. And I know because I've been running with them for 2 years now. So what do you have for me on that, Casey?
Yeah. So at LinkedIn, I believe their threshold is 30,000 connections total. So once you hit the 30,000 connections, you can have more followers, but you can't have any more connections, right? Now, how much you can expect per month. So using our system, we're getting our clients about 400 to 500 new connections a month, which leads to well over 100 conversations and around 10 appointments a month if you're actively on LinkedIn and engaging with folks.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you can imagine how quickly this would add up. Whereas if you have 4,500 people, this month you'll have 5,000, next month 5,500, 6,000. So, which is why it's taken me years to get to 17,000. But it's a powerful tool, because now that I'm at that point, now that's where all the value is really paying off.
Got it. I agree, dude. I agree. And what's up, dude? Everybody I know is on this. What's up, Anant? I don't usually see everybody all in one webinar participating. So he says, right now, I get 3 to 5 spam messages in LinkedIn. Me too. Do we run risk of sending these cold messages via LinkedIn to our intended audience or being marked as spam if we used LinkedIn Solutions automation?
So that's a great question. And yes, so there are people that use this system or use LinkedIn automation tools to just spam, spam, spam. And what I recommend is, if you see them and you're getting like a message from someone saying, I can help real estate agents get 25 new clients in 1 month, just ignore it. Ignore, right? I mean, they're not really doing this in a very savvy way, and they're doing the whole spray and pray approach, which is not a very good approach. We've done this for years, and we do it at such a high level where we actually know what to say to create that rapport and to build that relationship in a non-spammy way. Because, I mean, we are in a relationship business. This is all about building relationships, right? And so if that's your main intention with creating a connection request, then the chances of them connecting with you and actually engaging with you is significantly higher. I mean, imagine if someone goes, hey, Tristan, like, we both went to the same university and we live here in town, like, would love to connect with you. I mean, you wouldn't mark someone as spam if someone's genuinely wanting to relate to you because you have similar shared experiences, right? But if you go right for the sale immediately in the connection request, then of course you're going to ignore it or mark it as spam. But if you genuinely, and we helped with this, if you genuinely want to just have this relationship, it goes a long ways.
Dude, I love your answer on that, because it does come down to relationships. A lot of people just want the leads to come through without building them up, right? And LinkedIn, more so than any other social media outlet, is focused on people with jobs and higher level jobs. So you need to build those relationships differently. I'm gonna go ahead. We have a lot of questions on this one. By the way, Noah's on here. Noah, which I know is a friend of ours. He says me three. He gets spammed all the time. All right, let me go to the first one on the top here that got asked first by Monique. What's up, Monique? I have a VA that I would like to assign growing my database and connections on LinkedIn to. What page is the live on Facebook recording currently? I'd like her to watch this recording today. Monique, it's inside of LabCoatAgents, and I've pinned it to the top. If you don't find it, just type in my linked solution or Casey, or just type in my name, Tristan, and then it'll pop up in there as well. We'll also have this ready by Monday on our YouTube page for LabCoatAgents. So hope I answered that one. Amanda Smith has 2 questions. Will you add connections and manage my existing LinkedIn profile, or will I have to assist? I rarely use this platform.
So we'll be adding connections, and we'll be helping you create your profile and kind of enhance it. But the moment someone responds to you, only you know how to relate to that person and kind of sell yourself, right? So it's again, like, so I think that the best analogy is we're kind of doing the digital door knocking for you. We're opening the door, and then it's up to you to then create that relationship in a very unique, custom way. So And that's, back to the whole VA thing. I think that's super important because someone was saying that they can't keep up with all these messages, which totally makes sense. You're going to be getting so much engagement that if you have a virtual assistant that knows you and knows how to respond like you, that goes a long ways as well. So if you have a VA kind of helping you out, managing your LinkedIn messages, that's a best practice and does work really well. We also have some clients that prefer to manage it themselves. And some of our most successful clients, I ask them how they do it, and they go, "Well, gosh, I don't even try to sell them up front. I just start asking them about, about general things about the local city or like the market, or I give them value. They then all of a sudden self-select and like then volunteer the fact that they're looking to buy or sell. So as long as you come onto LinkedIn with the intention of just genuinely creating relationships, it goes a long ways.
I agree. And do you need to have a premium account to use Sales Navigator?
Yeah, so Sales Navigator is a premium account. It's about $80 a month, and it is required for a lot of reasons. But like I said a little bit before, it lets you hone in on the right target audience, and it increases the threshold of activity that's permitted on your LinkedIn profile.
Awesome, buddy. Do you suggest getting a VA first, especially for solo agents? Ooh, Wendy, that's a good question. I think it really depends on, what we've noticed over the years with social media in general is that most growth that you see in social media from a solo person or an agent, business owner, whatever you want to call it, is that they gravitate to one primarily. So let's say in this case, it's going to be Facebook, just to throw a loop in there. And you gravitate to there, you post there, you do lives there, you do everything there. And all of a sudden you've got this like great following. Well, we find that the most success comes when you do that, focus in on your favorite one, and then lead people to that other one, right? So if you are gravitating to that and you're doing well, let's say on Instagram, Facebook, whatever, then I might look into hiring a VA and say, hey, help me grow my LinkedIn if I get my link solution to help me, because this is only a piece of the puzzle. Casey's right. You're going to need to post routinely and engage, because without the engagement, like you're just pumping money in here, but nothing's going to happen at the end of the day. This is a relationship business, both in real estate and on social media. So yeah, part of that goes back to you. And if a VA is going to do that for you, that would be awesome.
I totally agree, and I feel like you have to learn how to leverage the system first before you can teach it, right? So like you have to see what sort of messages you're getting. You have to kind of create the sort of responses you want to be distributing yourself, and then after you kind of get the hang of it, at that point, then I would say then bring in a VA and say, hey, this is how I want you to respond. This is where I want you to lead them. This is what I want you to do. So you have to walk before you run. And so this is, the same thing applies here. You want to be able to just like figure out how this all works and operates and then train other people.
You got it, man. That's very key. And then last question, I think we got them all. Joe, what's up, Joe? What is LinkedIn Pro Finder? What the heck is that? I don't even know.
I don't know.
Joe, we don't know, but great question. And I'm sure that we can all figure this out. Wendy says, I agree. Excellent. Thanks so much. Casey, anything you want to add, man, besides everybody go to My Link Solutions, check it out, and Casey can help you?
Yeah, I mean, again, I think the main takeaway is schedule a discovery call with our team. We can really dig into what would work best for you. If you go to schedulefreedemo.com, I've also pasted the link in here a couple of times. There's a Calendly link. Schedule a call with us, and then we can really dig into what sort of solution would work best for your market, for your personality, for your business, etc. It's LinkedIn is an absolute gold mine. So even if you don't use our services, like get on LinkedIn and start like engaging with it. But once you're ready, then you take our system and you scale to the next level.
Yeah, that's true, dude. Good point, man. Well, Casey, thanks for that's a sign that we need to stop. Perfect on
Deal.
that, dude. Thanks for being on. Appreciate you and what you're doing with LinkedIn for all of the agents out there, man.
Cool.
See you in
Appreciate
Santa Barbara like soon, hopefully.
Yeah, whenever you want, man. I'm always here.
Thanks, everybody.
See ya.